وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمْ رَغَدًا وَادْخُلُوا الْبَابَ سُجَّدًا وَقُولُوا حِطَّةٌ نَّغْفِرْ لَكُمْ خَطَايَاكُمْ وَسَنَزِيدُ الْمُحْسِنِينَ।
আর যখন আমি বললাম তোমরা প্রবেশ করো এ নগরীতে এবং এতে যেখানে খুশি খেয়ে স্বাচ্ছন্দ্যে বিচরণ করতে থাকো এবং দরজার ভিতর দিয়ে প্রবেশ করার সময় সিজদা করে ঢুকো আর বলতে থাকো আমাদিগকে ক্ষমা করে দাও, তাহলে আমি তোমাদের অপরাধ ক্ষমা করব এবং সৎকর্মশীলদেরকে অতিরিক্ত দানও করব।
وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ, and when we told you enter this city, enter this town. This is a skip in Jewish history because Allah specifically, look, the ayat began, Ya Bani Israel. So the Israelites, if there's one thing very dear to them, is their history. They know their history very, very, very well. So if you make mention of it even in brief, they know the whole event. Because they've been raised to treasure one thing, and that is their history as a nation that survives so many different trials. And especially their history with Musa alayhi salam is something they treasured a lot, and to this day they treasure. So when Allah Azza wa Jalla skips around in Surah Baqarah and He doesn't give us dates and maps, and they traveled northeast, or they traveled, and here's where the location of the mountain was, or they stayed here for this many days, and this was the name of the hypocrite, or this or that. He doesn't give us any of that. Because first of all, understand the primary audience is people who already know all this stuff. That's one. It's the Israelites themselves. And two, the concern of Qur'an is in history. The concern of Qur'an is to mention the favors Allah had done and get to the lesson itself. The lesson is more important than anything else. So he says, and just to give you some historical background, the Israelites, the Muslims of that time, have followed Musa alayhi salam. They're on the other side. Now Allah has miraculously provided for them. And now, because they were ungrateful to Allah, and they were given opportunities to show obedience to Allah, they failed to do so. The final test from Allah came when they were told, go and, there was this township, which is considered Jericho, the city of Jericho nowadays, and there were a nation that lived there that was very, like they were warrior people. And the Jews were commanded, the Israelites were commanded by Allah to go and fight these people, and to take that land that Allah has promised for them. In other words, if you go and fight these people, these wrongdoers, then Allah has guaranteed you victory. That's what Allah told the Israelites. But of course, when they were commanded this under the leadership of Musa alayhi salam, and Musa and Harun alayhi salam, they came with this commandment to the Israelites. What did they say? فَذْهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَا إِنَّهَا هُنَا قَاعِدُونَ. You and your master, you go fight. We're sitting here. That's what they told him. So now because of this, Allah Azza wa Jal punished them with 40 years of exile. They were given 40 years of wandering in the desert, and according to Jewish history at least, this is the time in which Musa alayhi salam also passed away. And then the next generation of them who was brought under the life of the desert and this hardship came about, who were willing to go and fight for the cause of Allah one more time again. And so under another prophet, which the name is disputed, they came again, to fight. Some say it's Joshua, Yusha ibn Nun, some narrators say. That they fought and they tried to capture the city of Jericho, and this time Allah gave them victory. And that's what Allah is talking about in this ayah, and we'll conclude with it. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ, when we told you enter the city, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمْ رَغَدًا, eat from it whatever you want freely, carefree. Where did Allah say this before? Eat from it whatever you want carefree. You know where He said that before? Jannah. He had said this in Jannah. And now He's saying this to the Israelites in paradise. Can you imagine the gift of Allah to these people? And then He says to them, وَادْخُلُوا الْبَابَ سُجَّدًا. Only one condition. Was there one condition in Jannah also? There was one condition. Don't eat from that tree. Here also one condition. وَادْخُلُوا الْبَابَ سُجَّدًا. Enter the door in a state of sajda. And while you are saying, وَحَالِيَا, while you're saying, hitta. When you enter the city in a state of sajda means, you're entering on your horses or donkeys or camels, your forehead is on the neck of the animal. So you're entering in a state of sajda, if you're wondering how that works. Okay? And as they're entering it, they're supposed to say the word hitta. Hitta in Arabic means, rough translation, forgiveness. But literally it doesn't mean forgiveness. It's a very beautiful word. Hatta in Arabic means to bring down. Hatta al-haml, when you take the load off of a donkey or a horse, it's called hatta. Right? Allah says hitta because the word hitta implies we are burdened with the load of sins. So take that load off of us. And that's in the word, hitta. When you enter, ask forgiveness and ask Allah to remove the burden of sins from you because you've compiled quite a few. Hittatun, naghfir lakum khatayakum. If you say that, if you could just do that much, we will forgive as a result all of your mistakes. Khatayakum. وَسَنَزِيدُ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And we will increase those who excel from here on out, meaning not only a clean slate, I'm willing to increase you in reward on top of that too, just for you fulfilling one condition. Enter in a state of sajda and continually say hitta. Inshallah ta'ala we'll read tomorrow what they said instead. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم والسلام عليكم.